Hi everyone, this is a collective tarot reading for the full moon in Capricorn on June 21st, and it is for light workers. So if you want more peace, love, health, and wealth in the world, you are who I am reading for. I'm going to do a 7-card horseshoe spread as always, and we have 3 oracle cards to the side. You can choose which 1, 2, or 3 resonate with you the most. So let's do this. In the past, we have the 8 of Wands, of course. Present is 3 of Pentacles. Excellent. Known factors is the Knight of Wands reversed. We collectively are the Sun. Okay. Queen of Wands reversed as unknown factors. Advice is strength. And, well, I like the Queen of Cups where she is with the 8 of Coins at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, I'm going to stare at these cards for a bit and arrange them. I'll see you right now. I actually paused for a really long time, I think, but the reason is I'm at a loss. Like, this is the kind of reading that makes me feel like a broken record where I just say the same thing all over again. But it's a good reading. The thing that gave me the confidence to unpause was when I realized that all of this could be summed up in the word persistence. And I guess I'll start by pointing out the things that I noticed in this spread, and we'll go from there. So the obvious thing is that it's almost all fire, like all of these except for these 3 cards. The other thing, while on the topic of elements, is that there's no air in this reading, except technically the Knight. Knights are the airy part of their suit. This deck is wrong about that. And yeah, and that was a mystery to me, how the absence of air, whether it's an invitation to think or it's an invitation to take a break. And a challenge with that also is that since this is a collective reading, that there's probably, depending on, who you are, it could be either one, My general rule of thumb for that is all things being equal, whichever one you hope I mean, I probably mean the other one. But yeah, the other thing that leapt out is the only 2 reverse cards in this whole thing are the 2 court cards that are in the known and unknown factors. That's really interesting. And I think that the overall vibe of this, to unpack the one-word persistence, is one of figuring out your spot in a collective effort and not having the best time at figuring out what your thing is to do and how it fits into the world as it is, because, with the collaboration of the present tense here, and the only non-fire suits, 2/3 of them are Earth, and technically this isn't even in the reading, it kind of underpins it. And obviously the 8 of Coins, the grind card, the, hammering, gradual improvement through repetition card, is another, nod to the word persistence. I also want to mention, before I forget to do it again, the triple 8s. That's really interesting. And speaking of interesting, the number 8 itself in the tarot, it kind of has a different role in the minor and the major arcana, because the 8 in the pips generally have this theme of movement. Even if the movement is your forearm hammering out over and over and over again, as you crack out pentacles, each one getting, slightly better than the last. And yet the 8 of strength, strength isn't a card of movement. If anything, the movement cards in the majors would be the Chariot, maybe the Hermit, to a lesser extent the Wheel of Fortune, and that would be either the cycle or going around the track is how I thought of it. I went through all the major arcana, honestly. It bugged me that much. I was pausing forever anyway. So yeah, the triple eight, despite each one being individual in its own way too, and I'm realizing that right now. One is a pip, one is a major, one isn't technically in the reading, but they're both pips. And yeah, the double four, the structure, it's building a structure on top of a structure, is one way to interpret the numerology of the eight, which I think applies in the context of this. But I'm looking at the Queen of Cups here, who's has not been silently nodding along this whole time. The double water here represented in this card, I'm interpreting as emotional fulfillment. It's like, yeah, through trial and error, after, the dust has settled, and I don't think it has settled, but this is kind of a lull in the action, if you will. The time to collaborate and, figure out how your efforts are best used, and doing it gently and diligently. I say this all the time. The strength it's a card of, gentle strength, not domineering strength. No, sorry, it's gentle dominance, not domineering dominance, like the bullying kind. Yeah. What else? Yeah. I want to break down the two courts here. The only two reverse cards. It's like, and these have been silently nodding along, because on one hand, the known factor is the action, the adventure seeking, the bringing your will out into the world. As I've been motioning with my hands, that kind of thing, and some kind of block, glitch, and delay in that, and also, when that happens, it can kind of, start making you ask questions of, am I the problem, and I use the words, am I the problem, as verbal shorthand, but the vibe of, how long is it going to take for me to, hammer out the perfect pentacle, that kind of thing. And I guess I might as well throw it out, because the phrase just popped into my mind. The path of mastery never ends. There is no perfect eighth. There is no perfect eighth pentacle. But the pursuit of it is kind of the goal. And when you find that balance, between the dynamism of spreading your will out, and the emotional fulfillment and confidence that comes when you know that your place in the team is, the one, that really feels good, and collaborative efforts that play out that way are fucking awesome, and worth fighting for, honestly, the sun has been silently nodding along this whole time. I barely acknowledged it at all, but it's funny too, because despite all of this, it's kind of like, things are going great, but sharing the joy and levity and clarity implied by the sun, and bringing it out, that's the tricky part. We can't read each other's minds. All we have are words and behavior and shit like that. I don't know where I was going with that rant, and I don't feel like I've left anything on the table, so I'm going to pause for a second and come up with a way to wrap this up nicely, and then move to the oracle cards right now. Yeah, I'm glad I took the brief moment to do that, because this is something I had thought of the first time as I was pausing literally forever before, which is, don't let the fact that it's hard for you to figure out how you fit in discourage you from continuing to trying to fit in. Yeah, that was a mic drop. I'm gonna move on right now. So the oracle card, the archetype oracle, your archetype is the artist. That's a little on the nose for me personally, and yeah, that's very, very interesting. And the light attribute is expressing a dimension of life that Okay. Expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. And the shadow attribute is using talent as an excuse to mistreat others, posing as the starving artist to elicit pity. Honestly, I don't think the shadow attribute applies. If the shoe fits, sorry, not sorry. If you felt uncomfortable just now. But regardless, the light attribute is I would say this is an invitation to sorry, man, I've been thinking about art a lot lately, and ultimately it's the skill of sharing yourself with others. There's something inspiring when you see people do that in a vulnerable way. And if you can figure out how to do that in a way that other people like, then you're kind of off to the races. I think that rant on art combined with what I read is sufficient. So if you chose the green prism, oh, it's sweetness. Nice. I guess this is, in life you have to care, but not that much. There's an innocence here. There's sweetness. It's enjoy the little pleasures and savor the tiny moments. That sounds like a cliche that you would read in a Hallmark card. I wish I had a better way to sum it up, but that really, this, in the context of this reading, this kind of is the Hallmark card. If you chose the animal oracle, your animal is the nightingale spirit. Love is all around. Well, that's nice. Let me take a moment. Yeah, this is an invitation to come from a place of love, to spread love around. Something that I like is that this bird is standing on, horn-looking things with like the little notes coming out and everything. So it's an invitation to spread love and to go forth and seek it. And there's something about coming from a place of expecting it that is kind of disarming, which kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah, that honestly felt like a mic drop and was a little wink to the crown on this nightingale's head. So I think I will wrap everything there. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up. I hope y'all have a great full moon in Cap. Take care. I'll see you soon.